Hey guys, I just wanted to check in with you. I'm turning over this whole new leaf now that I have the diabetes. So today we're gonna start fresh. I'm gonna have a big bowl of quinoa. Quinoa is so delicious. It's very hydrating. I like it a whole lot. And I know it might take 2 or 3 days to turn this diabetes around, but I think I'm up for it.
What, what are you doing?
I was just making a video. These idiots actually think I'm gonna eat quinoa for the rest of my life. It's like, send me your $10 or don't, you know?
Oh my god, I can't anymore.
Oh, but it's all part of the... Oh, you're still here? Hi, Beezers. Hello everyone, I'm Steve, Mark's on his way home, and this is Smokeysteveandmarc. Welcome or welcome back, and happy Thursday! We are here with another coffee break, checking in with our fair lady, Chantal, Foodie Beauty. So thank you to everyone who tuned in last week. It was a really well-received video. People seemed to like it. They liked the shorter video, room for the intro to intro, so feedback was good. So we're going to keep on that. We're going to stay with Saturday. We'll have like a standing Foodie Beauty live, probably 6 p.m. most weeks, unless otherwise indicated. And then we'll meet up for a coffee break bits in between to fill in some of the gaps. So today, I wanted to check in and see how she's doing because she's experiencing grief. Okay. So before we get into the video, there's a Cameo plug. Now it's up to $10, and she'll answer a question for you or send a greeting. $10 is greedy as fuck for something from Chantal. I mean, who is she? No one's going to get it except the same dumb VIBs that buy everything over and over and over and over and buy year-long subscriptions at a time. No, don't think so. So we get the cringy Cameo thing, and she's using that voice like she's on the TV at a hotel or convention center where it's that music, or with the announcer voice. Check out our lovely bar and hotel, with the music in the background. She tries to mimic that. It's known as her low BMI voice, and I think you could see why if you saw it. Basically, this video was to blow smoke at a bunch of people who don't know any better, as far as Chantal. So she tried to present herself in this as not feeling well because she's struggling, trying, and then that she's just lost in her grief about another person who didn't make it to the bingo card, but surprise, surprise, we've got a runner up. So, Cameo plug, introducing that stuff. The first thing we see is looks like soup with some crackers in it. Couldn't pronounce the name of it. Looked like it was probably spicy. She then takes us to the cat playing around near the scale. She can't help but troll with the cat. And the cat could use a little bit of brushing. You know, like, just because. To make up for the 7 weeks you left after 3 weeks of having him. You know, maybe that would be good. She did get a weight. It was 163.1 kilograms. She says it's down from when she was at the doctor a few days ago, I guess, or whatever. And her sugar was 207, where she said is good. I'm not a doctor, and I'm not a diabetic. So I can't tell you good, bad, or indifferent, but I can tell you Chantal lies. She said that she got up at 8:01 to take her sugar, and then had oatmeal for breakfast. So she had oatmeal with fruit, sugar, bananas, sugar, all sorts of stuff in it. I'm not opposed to any of those things, but she ends up often adopting a lifestyle, doesn't realize the nuance of it, and then tries to defend it when she finds out, or tries to insist that that part of it's not meant for her. Like, everything is personalized. Her religion is personalized. She can pray at home. She doesn't have to go out. She doesn't have to do anything. She can pray at home. That's a position I think a lot of people take. But I think a lot of people don't either, considering there's mosques all over the place. I think people do it. The bells, all that kind of stuff. So, oatmeal, lunch, we had rotisserie chicken, broccoli, and sugar-free baked beans. Now, where you get sugar-free baked beans, I have no idea. Here, if you look, you can find them. But beans are still carbs anyway. And thing is, though, here's where I'm going to shut up. I don't know shit about fuck when it comes to a lot of that stuff. I just know your body turns it's all the same, whether it's flour, rice. Your body breaks it down all the same way from complex to simple. It's my my 12th grade biology class understanding. So, at this point, she is saying that she does not feel well. She feels a little bit morose, a little bit melancholy. She broke out the thesaurus for this video quite well. She was turning quite a few phrases that sounded really like insightful, and then when you say it back to yourself, it's just a bunch of bullshit. It's just talking in circles. It's taking little snippets of memes, conversations, something I read a therapist said once, and she tries to stitch together to make it sound something like effort. But it doesn't seem to be effort. Oh, the new hijab she got from Salah's friends came from Bahrain, and they brought gifts, and she had a new one. So, not feeling so well physically. So she has diabetes, which we found out. Well, many of us suspected it had been going on for a while, but she came clean about it, at least at that point. And she's trying to accommodate her lifestyle around this, or she's at least wanting to give the impression that she's trying to have a life around this now. She says the medication is giving her some digestive troubles. By digestive troubles, she means she's not ravenously hungry all the time. She said it kind of reminds her of the feeling from the Ozempic, the kind of full, dull feeling, like you don't want to eat as much, you know. And so conspicuously, today, when she's taking the medication where she feels full and can't eat as much, she's grieving. Let's see, either before this gets up or later tonight, I'm thinking rage. Because she can't satisfy herself with food. She's going to need to satisfy it with attention. And we're still in that hot time. It's the last day of November. I mean, it's practically the grand finale. So, yeah, I think she's have heartburn with the medication. She's gonna stop it, or she's already stopped it. Because who knows when she started it? You know, her making a video doesn't mean it happened the day before, necessarily. Chantal stacks content. Usually when she travels, it's all pre-recorded stuff, and she doesn't make too many references to times to date the videos, so people can't sleuth. So, she's going to stop the meds, and it's going to be somebody else's fault, probably, that she did it. They didn't give me the right one. The doctor didn't know what they were doing. I'm a very complicated case. Remember, she's terminally unique. She's so special, and she's so resistant to every form of treatment that she'll die from it. So, she said she's depressed. Okay, people get depressed. It happens. She was remembering her grandmother. Now, some of you may know, Chantal was close to her grandmother, according to Chantal. And Chantal, according to Chantal, would help her shop a few days a week, help her out with, you know, different things like that, different tasks when she was living closer to her. So they did have a relationship. I suspect, which Chantal doesn't mention, that Grandma was the biggest enabler. Grandma was the fixer. And if I didn't like what Mom said, I could go to Grandma and she outranks Mom. So I think, given that she's such a manipulative adult, she was as equally manipulative as a child. And would, you know, Mom's, I don't get it, I don't like this. Mom's boyfriends, getting them tossed. I remember one of her mother's boyfriends called her a peckerhead or a dickhead, something similar, and Chantal got to break them up, and she had that smug satisfaction look on her face, like, look what I did. So you manipulate people to try to match your own unhappiness. What do you want, a medal? Now, this idea she's also sharing about longing to be a kid again, she's just feeling sorry for herself. You know, and people do that. I've said I'm not too different from Chantal in some ways. I make an effort towards improving myself. She doesn't do that. But I feel grief hard. I feel it late sometimes. You know, I could see that. But I have to put her talking about her grandmother in context. In the last month, because of, you know, it's good money to be made during November. In the last month, she has brought up everyone who threw her a little attention and got her a little attention over the last 18 months. So we had Salah. Then she's talking about Natter. And then Dee Dee. And then French Fry Girl. And then we have Missy Moo. Who else came up? There was a couple other people that just found their way in situations that she doesn't usually talk about. The Cuba Bees came up. Someone said I should move back to Cuba and I want to talk about it. No one asked you. Nobody asked you. You just wanted to do a video about it. That's enough to say. You don't have to pretend people care if they don't. I mean, people can read the handwriting on the walls. It could, you know, help her to be a little bit more humble. probably. But I have to say that after, watching this, I don't feel that she's endearing. Any one bit more endearing than she was 5 minutes before I saw the video. I can appreciate that she feels like she's having a hard time. And it's all relative, and with her, if it's going to be anything, it'll be baby steps. So, and honestly, I don't know that she has the time for baby steps. Congratulations about losing 5 pounds this month. But at this rate, you still might die in a couple years. So, bottom line for the whole video is that she's feeling sorry for herself and she wants to get some pity, so she's mentioning dead relatives and other stuff. I'm surprised. If she brings up Timbit, I will drop effing dead. It's just been so hard since it happened, Chantal can only care about herself. Only cares about herself. I'm sure she does miss her grandma. I don't doubt that, because especially it sounds like grandma was the one who was on her side all the time. So to that end, yeah, I think she would probably miss a family member, even if they had a strained relationship. But she's no philosopher. This bunch of jumbled words that she's trying to present as thoughts don't work. I have to reimagine my mind around food. What does that even mean? I don't know. So, material things don't matter. She also got onto that, about how it's more about garbage bags than handbags and all this stuff. When she thought she could pull off a Hyundai Santa Fe as bougie, she tried. And then people who know cars and know money said otherwise. Chantal's good at punching down. How comedians in society will punch up at political figures, celebrities, that thing, because they're a bigger person. They're a bigger personality. And so they're a little more feels like fair game to make fun of. Chantal is a public person when she wants to be, and a private person when she thinks the jokes aren't funny. So, I don't know what to tell you. We all can't have it our way all the time. Your way right away, like it's Burger King. So, my takeaway from this is that Chantal is absolutely 100% at fault for everything wrong with her life. There is no circumstance which has made her a victim that she didn't have her own hand in. Since she's done it to herself, it's very difficult for people to like her or to care what's happened. And she does it in a way that's very smug and puts people away. So she'll find herself not only with a bunch of haters, but she'll also find herself in her real life with people who won't get close to her because they don't trust her. I wonder what her family thinks. Hard to say. I know that if I was in the middle of my addiction and decided to buy everyone cheap bottles of vodka all around for Christmas and then not go and drink them all myself, I think my family would have feelings about that. Not only did you not come, you ate our presents yourself, and you only got presents that you would like. That's selfish. I mean, that tells you there's so many little examples of it around in Chantal's life, but she is 100% the cause of her problems. Everything is secondary to her. And so going forward now with diabetes and looking after her sugars and looking after her health and the quinoa, God, the quinoa. I have serious doubts that she's going to take care of this seriously. Something will happen, there'll be a big dramatic event, and she won't want anyone to know. So she'll try to cover it in a hijab, probably. But I think there's more going on than probably any of us know, health-wise. I don't think she understands the depth of it because she doesn't want to look into it, because then she'll have to think about consequences. Grow up. Yes, I also get a little jittery going on Dr. Google to look up side effects of things. But that's part of being a grown-up, acknowledging what might be good, what might be bad, what I can handle, what I can't. If I want to switch medication, if I don't like the medication I'm taking, fine. But what am I going to do instead to treat my diabetes? Are we trying another medication? Are we trying lifestyle? Honestly, I would stick with a doctor's recommendation. I wouldn't even go to Jenny Craig. I wouldn't even go to a weight loss clinic or a diet meal prep place. Nothing without a medical component as far as her getting activity and food. I just don't think it's safe. I don't hate Chantal. I don't want her to die. She could be YouTube's biggest turnaround story. It was going to be Hungry Fat Chick, but it was hitting her in the wallet, I guess. She was very forthright about dropping it, but Chantal, no. Type 2 diabetes sums up her life. She did exactly what she wanted to do over a long period of time, gave everyone else the finger while she's doing it, and now acts like she was struck by lightning having it. And that she's the only person who's ever been diagnosed with diabetes ever. It probably feels like it because she doesn't think about how other people experience pain, trauma, any of that kind of stuff. She's concerned with her grief, her guilt, and everyone gathering around to pat her on the ass so she doesn't have to feel like fill in your word there, that she is. So thank you all for joining and thank you all for watching. Please do subscribe, hit the notification bell. You get alerts when we have new videos and go live. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter for now, X. Our email address and all that stuff is listed down below. Thanks, and we'll catch up with you very soon. Thanks for joining once again, and we'll see you next coffee break. All right, bye.